Welcome everyone to today's BookWidgets webinar. We are going to be getting started with creating interactive content and auto-graded assignments with BookWidgets. So, my name is Kate Baker. I'm a veteran educator with 25 years in education, and I'm the head of community engagement here at BookWidgets. I'm also the coordinator of the BookWidgets Ambassador community. And joining me today is Frederick from support. He will be here helping to answer any questions that you may have. So feel free to drop them into the chat and we'll do our best to address. Plus, we'll do a Q&A period at the conclusion of the webinar and we'll stop the recording then so that you can come on camera or unmute to ask any of your questions. Okay, so what is BookWidgets? If you're new to BookWidgets, BookWidgets is a content creation and evaluation tool for teachers. We save teachers time and energy by providing the tools to support your students' learning process from beginning to end with 40 customizable widget templates and 36 question types, 30 of which are auto-scored. For building a variety of professional and interactive lessons designed to enhance student engagement, comprehension, and assessment. And when you integrate BookWidgets into a learning management system like Google Classroom, Microsoft Teams, Moodle, Canvas, and more, you can use our live widgets feature to keep an eye on your students' progress in real time. Today, I'll be focusing specifically on using BookWidgets as a standalone solution, but feel free to join me for our other Getting Started webinars, where I'm showcasing the integrations with Google Classroom and Microsoft Teams. And whether you're using BookWidgets via the web or an LMS, our reporting dashboard with insightful statistics makes it easy to review student work and efficiently provide scores and feedback. Okay, so let's get right to it. If you want to follow along with me, you can go to www.bookwidgets.com and create a free account or sign in if you already have one. But if you want to wait till later to take those steps, that's totally fine. Please note that students do not need to sign into BookWidgets. Teachers sign in, teachers create and share the activities with their students, and then when they complete them, the student scores are saved in the teacher's account. So this is a great solution to be able to minimize the number of places that your students have to go, but then you get to stay organized with keeping an eye on their learning process. Okay, so I'm going to switch over here and get right into BookWidgets. All right, so I am logged into my account. And what you want to do is let's just take a look at where we're at and get oriented. So those of you who are longtime BookWidgets users might notice a bit of a change. We have in the top, our navigation bar is up here at the top. So we're on the Home tab, and the Home tab is just that. It's a place where you can get access to your widgets very quickly. You can get to student work, see if there's anything you have to take action on. You'll see what's new as far as any new blog posts that have been published as in our inspiration, and any product updates are here in what's new. And then some quick access to your tutorials, the knowledge base, and being able to email us. Going through the other tabs, Create is where you'll be able to create your widgets and access them. We're going to spend quite a bit of time here today. Follow is where you'd be able to access the live widget activity if you are sharing BookWidgets through a learning management system. You have to have that integration in order to be able to follow your students live. So again, join me for our next two webinars to see that in action. The Review tab is where we're going to take a look at our courses and see the different submissions from students. And then Collaborate is a great place to go to create a group, to collaborate with other teachers, and to access groups that you are a member of. So it's a great way to discover them and can search. One of my favorite groups to share with you is the BookWidgets blog group. And I'm going to type blog, and there it is. So if you don't have that group yet in your list of my groups, make sure that you add it because it has all, all of the widget examples that we've shared in any of our blog posts. So you can duplicate them, you can then make changes and customize them, and it is a great, great place to go for inspiration. So again, working smarter, not harder. All right. Up in the top, all the way over to the right, we have our drop down here to get to our examples. This page is great also for inspiration because we have example widgets for every widget type. So you can go in, you can take a look at them, you can duplicate them, save them in your account, see how they're set up. Again, customize them for your students. Also in this drop down, you have quick access to your tutorials, the webinars, and our knowledge base. And if you need to contact us, you can do that from there as well. And then the last icon here in the top bar, this is all information for your account. So being able to do your settings and see what your subscription is, as well as sign out. Okay, so let's go create a widget together. So I'm going to come back to home. You can very quickly create a widget by either clicking on the blue Create a Widget button here, or if you go to the Create tab, also the blue Create a New Widget. Okay, so let's hit that button and then we can see our widget library where you can choose from all 40 of these widget types to create. So all teachers from all subject areas and grades can use BookWidgets. So we have 40 different widget templates that you can plug your instructional content to create an endless number of interactive and auto-graded worksheets, video quizzes, jigsaw puzzles, hotspot images, flashcards, and much, much more for differentiated instruction and summative and formative evaluation. Now you'll notice these icons that are next to some of our widgets here. And I'm going to scroll back up. The icons that you see here indicate if a widget supports submissions for grading and feedback, and or if they support live monitoring. So as we scroll back up, our 4 most popular widgets, they're so versatile, are our quiz, worksheet, split worksheet, and video quiz widgets. You can challenge your students and inspire them within these 4 widgets using the 36 different question types. And again, 30 of them are auto-scored. Now, worksheet and quiz widgets have the same functionality and question types, but the difference is in the delivery. Quiz widgets will show 1 question at a time, whereas your worksheet and split worksheet widgets are a long scrollable page. And then your video quiz can do both. It can show 1 question at a time or multiple questions at a specific stopping point within that video. So for today, we're going to start with a worksheet. So I'm just going to click this worksheet type. And now we are in the widget editor. When you're in the editor, you're going to want to work from left to right, top to bottom. One of the first things you always want to do is name your widget. So a couple little pointers here as you name your widgets. If you are doing, let's say, a unit of instruction and you want to, number them, you can always do that, like 1. But one of my other favorite things to do too is to add emojis. So if you just right click, and if you wanted to color code things like, I don't know, easy, difficult, hard, you could do like green, circle to indicate something that's like easy. Just adding a little bit of coding, color coding or etc. to your widget. So I'm just going to say practice for now. All right. Description is where you can um, add in some additional information as to what this is. You can put in, the course, you could type in the class, etc. Okay. So then also beneath this, you're going to see several tabs. Within these, you can add content and you can configure options. About lets you add a text to explain what this widget is. And this is only visible to your widget editors. So for those of you who, if you're collaborating with another teacher, you could list your standards. You could also do, made by, and type in the person's name who has made it. And then if you have any widgets that are referenced within it. So yeah, you could go crazy and really creative and embed widgets inside of widgets. They would be listed here. We haven't added any in or haven't linked any, so there's not going to be any at the moment. Okay. Hit done. And let's get into the questions. So we have 36 different ways that students can show what they know. 30 of these question types are auto-scored. So as we again work from top to bottom, left to right, okay, we're going to just follow this blue bar and we're going to now add a question. So when I hit that button, it now opens up our list of question types from which we can select. Again, there's 36 different ones. 30 of them are auto-scored. So from like multiple choice to typing in responses, correcting words in a sentence, annotating pictures, multimedia matching, audio recording, you name it, equation editor, balancing chemical equations, an ionic compound builder, and even a rubric question. We have something for everyone. Now, let me just show you what it looks like to see a widget with all of these different question types. So this is a worksheet. It's multiple questions all in a row. And I'm going to drop the link in the chat so that you have it. And here it comes. All right, so you can you can open this up and so that you can see along with me. So what you'll see is when you're in this particular widget, we have every question type example is here. And you'll also notice up in the top corner, this green make a copy in my account. I highly recommend that you do that you click that button and add this to your widget account. Why? Because then when you're in the widget editor, you're going to be able to see how every question is configured. So don't be fooled by the name BookWidgets because we have widgets, question types, and accessibility features that every subject and grade can use. So as I scroll down through this, you can see we've named what each type of question is so that you know what you're looking at. So we have, your traditional multiple choice, multi-select, type in responses. How about a nice fill in the blank? You could have them be typed, or you could even do a drop down for those fill in the blanks. We have a mark sentence question type. So this is great if you want students to be labeling things that they're within a sentence. So, you world language teachers may want them to indicate vocabulary words or parts of speech. You have drag words in a sentence. We have correcting words in a sentence. We have a fill in the table, a question table that you can use for true, false, multiple answers. Here's one of those annotate pictures, and you can have entry points where students would type in to label. This is great for diagrams in science class. We have a whiteboard question where you can use the different tools, pick a color, and they can draw on the whiteboard. We also have like stickers that they could add within, so you can load those stickers in. They can resize the items accordingly, move them around. You'll also see for some of these, we have show hint. So when you click on that, it will give, something for the students to help them in the moment when they're answering a particular question. As I keep scrolling down, here's that example of a photo question. So a great way to make things digital, have students snap a picture of their paper and turn that in. Then you don't have to collect their papers. Word ordering, word order question. We have a crossword question. We have a picture ordering question, picture multiple choice, picture multiple select, audio response, so students can practice their speaking skills. We have word matching, word to picture match. Gonna keep scrolling, picture to picture. How about audio to word matching, audio to picture match? Gonna keep on going. Some text drag and drop. Text drag and drop to an image. We have a picture drag and drop. We have another picture drag and drop with a background so they can grab, then drop it into specific locations, drop zones. We have a grouping question. So this is like stacking, making stacks of various text, audio, and images. So as we see, grab this, bring it over. You can see it group. When you play the audio, you can drag it over and you'll see it like stacks them together, groups them together. Here we have a text question that can serve as a title or a section. So you can do that with those text questions. Our ionic compound builder. Then we have a numeric question type, a numeric answer question, an equations question. So that LaTeX formatting, you can totally do that within BookWidgets. And we have a rubric question type. So again, hit that green button. It's going to make a copy in your account. So, and then you can see exactly how this is configured. All right, let's head back and let's go make some questions, shall we? All right, whoop, come here. There we go. And let's scroll up. And we're going to start things easy. Let's start with something that's familiar. How about a multiple choice question? All right, so now that we're in the editor, we are going to type in our question within the space there. So I'm going to grab this, drop it in. Okay, I can switch to rich text formatting and I can underline, make things bold. I could add in a link. I could add in some pictures, audio, video, or even embed a web page or add in a table. And then here in my answer choices, this is where I'm going to want to type in my choices. And I always like to throw a fun one in there. And then make sure that you select which one is your correct answer. Okay, that you indicate that. So as I scroll down, let me show you some additional options for each question. So every question has this ability to customize the settings specifically. So if I want, I can have a random answer order. That's lovely. Multiple column layout. If I want to include a rationale will be revealed to the students after they have submitted their answers, and this can explain to them why certain answers are correct or not. A hint is useful for them to access while they are answering the question to help guide them in the process. So you can also switch this to rich text formatting and include resources for them if you want to, provoke them to think or access some materials that you might have used in class. I keep scrolling down. You want to add in some audio. This is great for your littles or your emerging readers or for your emerging language learners. That if you want to record an audio fragment that you're reading aloud, the question, you can do that. And you can use BookWidgets at recording feature right inside it. You don't need another tool. So I'm going to hit record. What is the capital of Spain? What is the capital of Spain? And I can accept it. And then you'll see it attached in the question. And here it is right there. If I want, I can have a maximum play count. So if I only want students to see this like, I don't know, twice, again, I want to have my emerging learners, language learners. I don't want them to replay it ad nauseum. I can have that. And then I can also include an image. And then down here at the very bottom is one of our most important options, correction and scoring. So this is where you can type in the change of a point value. So if you don't want it to just be the default of 1, you can make it 2, you can make it 12, whatever number your little heart desires. Okay. And then yes, this box is checked to indicate that it has grading and correction. Okay. All right, next, I'm going to add another question. So we're just going to click the Add Question button here. And this time, let's do an annotate picture. Okay, so we're going to name the capital cities of the countries on the map. And I can, again, with rich text formatting, I can bold, underline, italicize, etc. Add in some images, again, multimedia if I so choose. Now I need to have the image that they're going to annotate. So there's a background picture here. I can, from the dropdown, I can choose an image to upload from my computer. I can import it from Google Drive if I have my Google account connected. I can find an image online or paste it from my clipboard. We're going to do find image online. Now this takes us into our Pixabay integration where we can Europe countries map. Type in some keywords and then we can see a number of different options that appear. And if you don't like what you see, there's a load more right down here at the very, very bottom. It'll generate even more for you to choose from. But I saw something I liked up at the top. Yeah, we'll pick this blue one. So I'm going to grab this blue. And then now I have that map is my background image that they're going to annotate. Next, I need to add an input field. So I'm going to click that blue button. Just follow the blue bar. Now you'll notice we have this hazard icon has appeared because I haven't yet defined where I want the annotation to be. So this is great that BookWidgets helps to keep us on track, make sure that we don't make a mistake. So I'm going to just click on the image. And now here we can see our marker. And drop it right here. Then I can move this guy around or I can click and it'll appear wherever I would like it to go. Okay. If I need to resize the box, I can do that, but the default size is pretty good. Okay. So I'm going to put it right there over the country of Belgium, hit done. And I want to type in my answer for the capital city of Belgium is Brussels and type that in. And I want to add a few more input fields. So let's do another one. Again, here we go. There's that hazard icon because I have to indicate where I want that to go. Drag my marker. I'm going to drop it here. Move my input field over here. Okay, hit done. That one was Paris. Let's add another one, but this time I'm going to do something a little different. I'm going to add a drop down. So there's my position for Italy. And for my correct answer, I'm going to hit this little icon here that gives me just those. If you forget how to do this, this is all right there to help you. That if I want to make a drop down, we're going to do select, colon, the answer choices. Okay, I'm going to hit done, come back to here. And I'm going to drop this right there. So we're going to do select colon Rome, because that's the capital of Italy. Then I have two other choices, Brussels, London, and Athens. And then when I hit preview up here in the top right corner, it'll show me what that looks like for that particular, for this widget. So when I scroll down, I'll see here's my capital cities. And then here's my drop down. Okay, or I can type in. All right, let's go back to the editor because I want to add one more question in here, show you how easy that is to do. X, okay, we got that. All right, I'm going to come back to my list of questions. Go back to questions, and then I'm going to add one more question here. We're going to do an audio picture match. So audio text, audio picture. Okay, so my question's going to be match the landmark with the country, period. And now I have to add my pairs. So my first pair, audio description just lets you type in what it is so that you know that without having to play the soundbite, what it is. Students will not see what that answer is. Okay, so I have France, and I need to record my audio. Again, I can choose a file, but in this case, I'm going to record it. France. France. Okay, I'm going to accept it. All right. I need to add an image now for my pair. So we're going to go find image online. And this time I'm going to look for, let's see, something in Paris, the Louvre. Aha, look at that. Got a bunch of different pictures to choose from. And I'll take that first one. It's actually pretty nice. Okay, so we have it there. Next, I'm going to add another pair. So this one will be Italy. Audio. Italy. Italy. Okay. And then we're going to add an image for the pair. Find an image online. And for this one, I'm going to do the town of Venice. So we get the canals, the city of Venice. Oh, yeah. That's a good one right there. Add that. And we'll do one more. Let's do Greece. 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 Okay. And then attach my image. We're going to find one online, and we're going to do the Parthenon. I want to make my students work a little bit. Let's see. I'm going to do this one here. So maybe I want them to analyze the image and see what it is. Okay. All right. So I've added my stuff. And again, the same options for question types are here. I can change the score weight if I would like. Okay. And then, you know what? I want to show you another way to add questions to this particular widget. So instead of hitting that add question button, I'm going to come up here to the top navigation bar of the editor, and I'm going to hit this gear icon in the corner. And this time, what I'm going to do is use the import feature. Now, if I have a document, let's say I have my curriculum that I've used for eons, I have it as a, PDF or a Microsoft doc, then I could import from that file and easily create question types. So again, working smarter, not harder. And when I'm making a bunch of widgets, I can also import questions from another widget. So let me show you that. I'm going to import from widget. And I'm going to pick, let's see, from this particular widget. So you can see I've done that color coding with my emojis. And I'm going to pick question 4. And I'm going to hit up here in the top corner, import. And then now I'm going to go to my questions. And then here we see it right there. Okay. So when I go into this one, I can add some keywords that if I want my students, this is going to be a typed response. They're going to be typing in their choices here. So I could have some keywords of if I had specific terminology I wanted them to use. The keywords are great for doing a little bit of scoring for you. It's not going to score the whole response. You still need to take a look at that. Okay. And again, same options, a rationale hint, adding audio and image, and your correction and scoring options. And we have a weight of 5 for this one because that came from my previous widget. It just imported it right over. And okay. All right, so now let's go take a look at what this widget will look like. So top bar here, I'm going to click on preview. And this lets me see the student view. So as you are learning how to use BookWidgets and creating different widget activities, play with the settings and then go into student view so that you can see what it looks like and you can experience it as if you are a student in your class. So here we can see what is the capital of Spain. I can play the audio. What is the capital of Spain? I see I have now, since I played it once, I only have one play left. I can click on answer choices. I can type in the box. I can do the matching. France. And be able to drag and match accordingly. And then when I come down here, I can type in my response. Okay. So there's also something else up in here that I want to show you. So when you're in preview mode, you can, again, interact as if you're a student, but all the way up at the top right, you can see what your widget will look like if you, let's say you're using mobile devices. If your students are on phones, what will it look like for them to do this widget on a phone, on a tablet, so they can experience it too, and you can see what it might be like. But you can also just leave it as resizable, and it'll resize accordingly. Next to that resizing option, we have design. You can adjust the visual design of your widget by changing the colors. So let's make it green, and you'll see the title changed. My play thing here changed. It doesn't change everything when you're changing the color, like it's not going to change your image, but it will adjust some of the features. If I want to do more of a dark mode, so if it's too much white, I want more of a dark mode, it'll do this. And you'll see now the font color has become white and the background is now green. If I wanted to add a background image, I could also do that as well. I can choose an image, I can import it from Google Drive, find it online through Pixabay, or paste it from a clipboard. For those of you who are in trial accounts, you will see only this top bar. So this top section for changing the template, that's all you're limited to, unfortunately, with your design options. But if your license is extended and your design options activated, you will see so many different ways to customize the design of your widgets. But we're going to save that for another webinar. Okay. So let me just switch this back to light. Okay. Yeah, I'm fine with that. And let's go ahead and take a look at some other options within the widget editor. So my design's good. I'm going to exit out. Okay. So back over here in our widget editor, along the side, our next tab underneath the questions tab is the reporting tab. Here is where you will enable or disable submitting of answers. You can allow your students to submit only once if you so choose. And then you can customize the submission form data. So if you are want to include a class ID, this is great to enter in, just some ways that you can group the responses together to save you time if you're using this as standalone. If you're using it with the learning management system, you don't have to worry about this. It'll take care of all the, coordinating and seeing it in a class. But again, you'll have to join me for those webinars to go over the learning management system. Now down here at the bottom, underneath is exam mode. This is where you can enable a timer for this. So you can put a time limit on the quiz or worksheet. So this is great if you want to do like, a timed, formative, quick quiz. You just want to see how quickly can they identify their answers. When the timer, you can set how long you want it to be. And then they'll see a pop-up box that will appear when it's counting down. And then you can also allow reset when the timer elapses, okay? So that's exam mode. Let's go to general. This is where, there's so many options. Under the general tab, you have some additional correction and scoring options. So here is where you can choose for the whole widget, for all the questions that are within this widget, whether or not you want to show the correct or incorrect answers when the quiz is done, whether or not you want to show, and again, you can check the boxes or uncheck them accordingly, set up a password to reveal the answer. This is great for escape rooms. You could, if you want to make this more of a formative practice activity, you could color code it for as students are selecting the answers, or you can configure this for every question. You can show points associated with each question or not, show the score when the quiz is done. You can allow students to correct or update answers. And then this is one of my favorite things within BookWidgets is automated feedback. So under feedback, you can add a message that will be delivered to the student depending on his or her score. So 100 or lower, we're going to say, great job. And I can include an image, I can record, I can add in a video from YouTube and have that there. I'm going to add another piece of feedback. Let's say, this is, a student still needs to practice. It's a low score. So keep trying. And I can do a link to resources to check out. I could include like links to other documents, other widgets, you name it. Insert URL just so that we have it. Okay. And again, I can create many different levels of automated feedback that I would like to have. But this is a great way to positively reinforce your students' performance as well as provide differentiated follow-up resources. Okay, so there's so many more options. I'm going to keep scrolling. As we come down to check out some of the others, we have strict answer order. Okay, if you want students to answer this in the order that you have dictated. Question ordering and numbering, having things being random question order, automatic numbering, etc. Numbering your different info sections. We have the startup passwords. If you're doing an exam, you can check out Safe Exam Browser. Automatic spell check. You can disable that if you're doing like a spelling test or quiz type of an assignment. Adding in instructions that will appear for your widget. We have text selection and text to speech. This is wonderful for accessibility to allow browser-based text to speech for those that, again, your emerging readers might like that, as well as your language learners. Okay, I'm gonna uncheck that box for now. And then our math and science folks, you would love the scratch pad, the calculator. Like you can embed a calculator directly into the widget. And I'll just add it, even though this isn't a math widget per se. I'm just going to add it so you can see what it looks like. Okay. We also have the equation editor and then allowing whether or not to share or download. Looking at a couple of other options. The language tab allows you to set the text direction and translation. So if you are working with students, with various languages, you can choose from any of the built-in translations that we have, but you can also create your own translation. So if you need to customize and add in, instead of, the words in the original language and your secondary language, you could add in, some support. So it's kind of like a hybrid of both. But I'm going to switch this back to English. Translation is going to be English. Okay. And then design is where you can put in a cover image for your widget. Okay. As you play with the settings, again, test them out by clicking on preview and answering as a student. And then any changes you make, you want to be able to update them. All right. So now let's share the widget, shall we? So I'm going to hit share up here. Now that we've customized our settings, we're going to share it with our students. And you can quickly and easily deliver this widget to your audience by copy pasting the share link. And I'm going to drop this share link in the chat. So that you go ahead, feel free to play. You can also share it with a QR code. So if you're making, you're doing stations around the room and your students are on tablets or mobile devices, they can go to the station, scan the code, and there's their widget activity to complete. We also have send to Google Classroom, Microsoft Teams, a short code, and then the teacher link is great for collaborating with other teachers that you can make that copy in your account. So I'll just drop the teacher link also in the chat. Okay. All right. So now let me just switch over to another tab and do this activity as if I'm a student. So here we go. Drop the link up there in the URL. Now you can see here is that countdown up here in the top. Oh my God, the time's ticking down. This makes me nervous. But then it disappears. So now I don't see the number after a while, but I do see this kind of circular pie chart to let me know that, time is diminishing. Here's where I can access that calculator. So I can drag it around the screen, type in my numbers, do my calculations accordingly. I can make it disappear. Just click on the icon again. All right. So now what's the capital of Spain? I'm going to purposely make some mistakes. Name the capital cities on the map. Shh. Then, let's see. That drop down. So you can see that. Match the landmark. France. Italy. Now as I look at these, I go, well, wait a second. If I need to zoom into the picture, oh, look at that. I just click on it. Now the picture is enlarged. I can look at that. Oh, there's the Parthenon. Okay, so that's not Italy. Let me look at this one. Oh, the canal. Okay, this looks like Venice. So now I can drag and drop it here. And play this one. Greece. And match it up there. Okay, capital city. Like to go to where would I like to go to? I'd like to go to London and see the Globe Theater because I'm an English teacher. I love Shakespeare. Okay, there I can see my word count, etc. And now I'm going to hit submit. Okay, you can see up here at the top, here's my timer still clicking down. I got 7 minutes left, but I'm done. I'm going to hit submit. And now to send the answer in, I have my student's name, and then my student will need to put in their email if I'm not using a learning management system. Why? Because in order to have the results sent back to them, the email is going to be the way that we're going to communicate that. Okay. So make sure that your students have filled in this box and hit send otherwise, or submit. Otherwise, they're not going to get that. The submissions aren't going to go to you. They have to hit the submit button. Okay. It was sent successfully. Okay. And then now I can go through and see my feedback and see what my settings were. So as the student, the automatic feedback lets me know like, okay, this is my score. I got to keep trying. If I had that URL, they could go to it and I could hit it. Okay. But then I set up so that I can see my responses afterwards. Okay. And what I got correct or incorrect. Now, remember this question. I have to score that as the teacher. So this response, this score is actually incomplete because this question hasn't been graded yet. So let's go back to the teacher view and let's go see where those responses are. Okay. So I'm going to come up here to the top bar. If I had this through a learning management system, I could see it live, but I don't. So we're going to go to review. And then now here is where I can see my students' submissions. So everything's going to be listed under no course if I did not have a class ID associated with it or a name associated with it if I'm in a learning management system. So I can see my submissions here under no course, and there's that widget I just did. Okay. I can also, if I go back to review, I see my recent submissions and I can see when was the last activity that it was submitted. So let's open this up. So now what I can do is I can see my students' responses and I can score this by the question. I can go question by question and or I can go student by student. So let's go through. Okay. I also see this high level data. I can see the average score for each question. And this lets me know like, oh, we really struggled with the map. Let me go take a look and this can help inform my instruction with them. Okay. So let's go in. When I click on a question, this will give me the question by question view. And I can see who got it right or wrong. But if I don't need to really see the right answers, I can like group identical answers if I'm looking for which one is different. How many people got, picked the wrong answer and which wrong answer did they all pick? Okay. I can also filter by hiding correct answers so that I can see, again, where was the incorrect. And then I can sort by name, by submission date, and sort by score. I can also enter in a comment. Check your work. And I can give again some tips or tricks for where to go. Okay. And then if I want to go to the next question, just hit the arrow and I can navigate accordingly and use the same filters or undo the filters to see them. Okay. Let's go back to our grading dashboard and let's look at it from the student view. So thank you, Ahmed, for doing your submission. So I can see here's what Ahmed has. They have the number of correct answers wrong, a manual correction. I need to go take care of that. I can give a top level comment. Okay. Then as I come down, let's see. When I click on a response, I can do a couple of things. You'll see this menu pops up. I can enter in a comment specifically on this answer selection on this document, but I'm also can do this. I can label my comments. So this is correction labels. So what I'm going to do here is click on the 3 dots, and now I can customize my different labels. So let's say like spelling is always an issue. Give it a code, SP, it gets that color, save. Another error I might see students making is with grammar. Whoops, I need to spell correctly. And go GR. Okay, and I could pick a different color or leave it. Save. Let's say, for math, show your work. And then I can do it that way. Okay. And save it. Yeah. So there's a lot that you can do with the correction labels. Hi, Frederick. Anything you want to share about correction labels? I
Hi,
know we're getting
everyone.
close to time, but I will be done shortly with
No,
this.
I
Just a
have
few more
I have
things.
nothing to add. You are doing absolutely
Ah,
splendidly. I didn't want to interrupt.
thank you. Okay. So the correction labels are so wonderful to be able to spend some time, save yourself time as a teacher that you're finding that you're always repeating yourself with, your students making common errors. Now you can just label it accordingly. Okay. Come on down, check it out. And here's that. Here's this, and I can give it a score. Okay, I could even enter a comment. Etc. All right. Now up here at the top, I can return this PDF copy of work. And as long as Ahmed, you've put in your email, I'm going to return it right to you and you'll get it. Okay. Exit out of that. And then we can see our other responses. I'm going to go to Sam. I'm going to correct Sam's work. So here I can, oh, here's a spelling. So there's my spelling mistake. Okay, give 5 and say, yep. And again, I can use those different filters. I can download a PDF if I need to send it to parents or let's say the child study team. And I can also return the work to the student. Okay. All right. So there's so many things that you can do here. And also here under submissions with our cogwheel, this also will help you to save some time. So one of the things too is that you can select all the work. So here I have all 4 of my submissions. And then I can return that PDF copy of it to those students collectively. So I don't have to just go one by one by one. We can do this all together. If I need to download PDFs from my own files and documentation, again, collectively, I can do that. Okay. If I want to, make sure I have a record of particular students, or I think someone's response was exemplary, I could add a star to be able to find that later. Okay. So there's so many things that you can do with this to be able to save yourself time and energy. All right. So let me swing back over to our slides as we come close to the end of our time together. So again, I'll be doing integrations on Wednesday and Thursday this week, where we'll be taking a look specifically at Google Classroom and Microsoft Teams. Frederick will be back for that. So I hope you'll join us if you are using those learning management systems. And if you're not, give you a quick sneak peek as to what live mode might look like. So you can see in real time your students as they're answering questions. You can follow along with them as they're typing in responses. So it's pretty powerful, that live mode. So again, join me for those integration webinars to be able to see that. And then in terms of grading and feedback, just to recap that, this video will be in the slides. It'll be linkable so that you can see, again, reviewing how to do that review of your students' work and entering in comments. So with BookWidgets, we're putting all those pieces together. We're with those widget and question templates, the auto grading, the LMS integration, our real-time monitoring, and that reporting dashboard just make things so much easier for all of us and just supporting you and your students' learning journey. So in addition, we have some handy links. So if you ever need help, email support@bookwidgets.com and Frederick will be able to help you out. We have our list of webinars on our Academy page, so you can sign up for upcoming ones as well as review any previous webinars. Our tutorials page is wonderful to access additional help articles and guidance through, connecting a learning management system or just anything else you want to learn about. The knowledge base includes some frequently asked questions, and you can search by keywords for any help articles. In addition to that, BookWidgets blog, great, wonderful site to go to. And we have that group in BookWidgets where you can access all of those widgets that we create for the blog articles. All right. Last thing for the webinar, this is pretty special. I've mentioned our BookWidgets Facebook group. So we want to offer you a wonderful prize for those of you that will follow through with these steps. You can get a gift card for 6 months free usage of BookWidgets by joining our Teaching with BookWidgets Facebook group and then creating a post within that group where you're going to share something that you learned from this particular webinar and share a widget activity that you created. And then all you have to do is share that student link and then explain how you plan on using this widget. And then make sure that you tag me in the post so that I can find you and then I'll follow up with you on those things. So let me drop Facebook group in the chat and also a link to my profile so you have it. And last, I'm so happy that you were here attending this session with me. You are our missing piece. I'm going to stop the recording and then we're going to do our Q&A. And then I also have the link to your session evaluation. So thank you all for joining me today. Let me stop the recording.